I know. Look at them. Ooh, we're all up in our technology game here.
Thank you. Hey, good evening, everybody. This is the Board of Selectmen meeting, regular meeting, Wednesday, October 18th, 2017. This meeting is being shown live on Channel 9, and it will be recorded and shown on Channel 9 throughout the week. Okay, let us begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Chairman, while we're standing, I would like to mention the passing of several residents or individuals who were born in town or still have family in town. Betty Acadian, Kathleen Maycumber, Emily Sanson, Madeline Avila, and John Costa. Mr. Costa is the brother of the late Fred Costa, for whom the Memorial Park was named. So if we could have a moment of silence in their memory, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nancy.
That's
Okay.
a long list.
Yeah, it is. Needs to be somebody every week. We will ask for public input, but nobody's here, so I guess we'll skip over that one. Old business. This is very exciting news. As you know, we've been searching for a town administrator for a couple of years now, and we had hired a search firm this out of New Hampshire. They had gone through, got a whole bunch of applicants. They screened those applicants, interviewed them, and they came in here last week on Wednesday, and they interviewed 6 semifinalists. And then last night they gave us 3 finalists to interview. So we interviewed those 3 finalists, and I would tell you the 3 of them were very, very qualified to be our town administrator. However, we had to pick one. So we picked a woman, her name is Mallory Ehrenstein, and she is currently the assistant town administrator in West Bridgewater. She's very bright, she's very energetic and enthusiastic, and she's done a lot of things. She's been in town government up in West Bridgewater for, I think, about 8 years, so she knows a lot about how towns run and stuff, and we're very excited to have made that choice.
Absolutely.
So she was made a tentative offer today, and then in the next week or so, we'll have to sit down with her and negotiate a contract. But, I think it's good news, and hope everybody's happy with that. We are.
Absolutely.
This is our 3rd try, so we hope this is the charm.
Yeah. Yep.
So anyways, yeah, it was a good process, a very, very good process, so really enjoyed it.
And thank you very much to Municipal Resources, Inc. for your hard work. As Chairman Taylor stated, you gave us 3 outstanding candidates. It was a very difficult decision, but I do think the board unanimously made the correct decision last night, and I think we're all really looking forward to getting our new town administrator up and running.
You know, when you interview people, like when you get down to 3 finalists, if you looked at the 3, they're very, very different people. And some had experience in some places, others had experience other places, but you just kind of narrow it down to the one you think is the right fit for a town like Dayton, and also has the skill set that would be most beneficial to us. So any one of them, there were 3 great candidates, as Brett said, and we could have taken any one of them, but we picked that Mallory. So
We've been fortunate, we've been able to fill 2 key positions with qualified, well-qualified, but excellent candidates.
yes, oh yeah.
So between the fire chief and the town administrator now.
Absolutely.
We're moving forward.
Busy couple weeks.
Busy 6 months. So we're moving forward, and that's a good thing. Okay, resignation of Reserve Police Officer Daniel Sylvia.
Thank you.
We have a letter here from Mr. Daniel Sylvia addressed to Chief Robert McDonald. Please accept this letter as notification of my resignation from my role as a reserve police officer for the Dayton Police Department. My last day with the agency will be Friday, October 13th, 2017. I would like to thank you for the opportunity given to me to learn and train. However, this time I must pursue other opportunities. I will always be grateful for my experience here and will take what I have gained and apply it to my future endeavors.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we accept the resignation of Reserve Police Officer Daniel Sylvia.
Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. I want to initial that or something. Acceptance of guidelines for Eagle Scout by Park and Recreation Commission. I haven't seen this.
Yeah, they went by the board first, then they went to,
This has been
Action.
out there for quite a
yeah,
while.
they went to Tom Ferry first, and he marked it up, and then I gave it to the board, and then,
I had no corrections.
no,
You guys
no,
did a great
the only
job.
edits were made by Tom Ferry. And so after that, we decided to send it on to Parks and Rec, because I had spoken to Mr. Rhines. So I'll just read these one more time. These are guidelines for community service projects, including Eagle Scout projects. These guidelines have been established by the Board of Selectmen, Superintendent of Streets, and the Parks and Recreation Commission in an effort to provide assistance in the development and processes involved with community service and Eagle Scout projects on public property. 1. Identify project proposed for public property or searching for a project. Contact Mr. Tom Ferry, Superintendent of Streets. 2. Once a project is identified, Mr. Ferry will contact the Parks and Recreation Commission if the project will affect any property under its jurisdiction or to advise it that a project is proposed that may fall under its jurisdiction once completed. If the Conservation Commission or any other town agency or individual needs to be involved with the approval process, the proponent will be advised accordingly by Mr. Ferry. 3. Once the project is initially approved, Mr. Ferry, any other town agency or individual, or scouting authorities, if applicable, the proponent shall prepare a presentation and contact the Selectmen's office to request placement on an agenda. 4, the proponent shall attend the Selectmen's meeting and request initial approval. The proponent shall be prepared to answer questions. 5, midway through the project, the proponent shall contact the Selectmen's office to request placement on the agenda. The proponent shall be prepared to give a progress report on the project. 6, at the end of the project, the proponent shall contact the Selectmen's office to request placement on the agenda. The proponent shall be prepared to give a final report on the project and request that the board approve the project, following which the project document will be signed by the chairman of the Board of Selectmen. Although a community service or Eagle Scout project on private property does not require town approval, please notify the Selectmen upon completion of the project so that proper recognition can be given. The town realizes the importance and hard work that go into such a project and will publicly acknowledge the accomplishment. This was first drafted in August. So this letter is dated October 17th. It says, regarding guidelines for Eagle Scout projects, the Park and Recreation approved the guidelines for the Eagle Scout projects. Thank you for your effort and time. Sincerely, Timothy Rhines, Chairman. So that was the last approval we were waiting for.
Cable, oh, here we go. Okay. Anyone want to make a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we accept the guidelines for Eagle Scouts that was prepared by Selectman Goulart with the assistance of Highway Superintendent Ferry, as well as the Parks and Recreation Commission.
Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
I just wanted to thank my colleague for her due diligence and her hard work. I do want to add, if it's okay with Selectman Goulart, that we add that into our current policies and procedures manual. We'll have that, you know, as a
Absolutely.
town policy going forward.
And if you want me to email it to you so it can be posted on the site.
Absolutely.
And for those of you who may be contemplating your Eagle Scout project, these guidelines will be copied. They will be available here at Town Hall, at the Selectmen's office. They will be available from Mr. Ferry at the Highway Department, and also from the Parks and Recreation Department. And if you are looking for an Eagle Scout project and you don't have one in mind, please get in touch with Mr. Ferry, because he actually keeps a list of potential projects. So,
We should probably also send one over to the Boy Scouts.
yes, we could
So
send
the leadership of the Boy Scouts.
Troop 45 and Troop
Yeah.
3.
So the
I believe it's 3. Yep.
Great.
Absolutely. Good work.
So we have an announcement from the Dayton Police Association. Why don't you read it?
Sure. This is from the Dayton Police Association. It says, the Dayton Police Association would like to thank all of its supporters and donors throughout the years. Officially, on July 1st, 2017, the association dissolved and is no longer an active organization. Please be advised that no further solicitations from any persons or organizations claiming to be representing the DPA is valid. So please pay attention to that, Daytonians.
People are always out there trying to scam.
Got to be vigilant.
Don't confuse the Dayton Police Association with the current police officers that sponsored the Stuff the Cruiser project. The Dayton Police Association goes back many, many, many years. And I think it was formed around the time that the dog track opened. And this was a group of reserves and regulars. And they used to host social events and have fundraisers and give money for various good causes in the town. And over a period of time, through attrition, the memberships dwindled, so they've disbanded.
We have one item of new business that we skipped over here.
Thank you.
You want to talk about this one?
Oh, Mr. Chairman, we received a request for reimbursement. I looked into this, and what occurred was a resident fell on town property. As a result of the fall, the individual's glasses were broken. The individual requested that the town reimburse him for the cost of his glasses. It's less than $250. I contacted our insurance agent, and it's actually covered under our liability policy. However, the recommendation was made to the town by the agent that it's such a small claim, the town should consider reimbursing this individual, because between processing the claim and doing what is necessary to pay it through insurance, there's an expense involved, and it's actually going to affect, it'll be filed as a claim, and it will affect our insurance premiums in the future.
The rate, you mean?
So, yes, so it's a small amount, and I will make a motion that the town reimburse this resident $246 for replacement of broken glasses.
I will second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
I do want to ask the board just one question, not really in relationship to this. Does anybody suspect that this is something that could happen again, in terms of, where it happened and all
Well,
that?
the circumstances that, under which it occurred were immediately addressed, because the town employee that spoke to me before I saw that written request was notified immediately, and he said it was taken care of, so.
Okay, thank you.
So, so we'll talk about it at department heads meetings, but if anybody sees a hazardous situation, we'll want to correct it before we have this kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Okay, we don't have any correspondence? Reports?
I got one brief report. I went to the Mass Municipal Association Muni Energy Program workshop that they had some of you may remember that we had somebody from MMA come down and meet with the board to talk about the town joining their program so that the town, the municipal level, not the residents. This is not the program that we have in place for residents. This is a special program that, once it is put into effect, the town would have an energy contract for reduced rates through Mass Municipal Association and Constellation Energy. When we met with the person earlier this year, what she told the board was that she will be back next year, in the new calendar year, to talk about the best way for the town to handle this. Where we were already into the year, and also because the current rate that was negotiated for residents expires the end of this year, and a new contract has been negotiated for residents who opt to be in the program that will start the 1st of January. Her recommendation was the best time for her to meet with this board to talk about what we can save through a contract like this will be after the 1st of the new calendar year. The projections that were made at the time that energy is still going to continue to spike before it levels off. And this is one of the reasons why they're negotiating these agreements. But anyhow, they talked about cogeneration, they talked about the plants that have gone offline, they talked about the lighting system upgrades, and I did get a card. I'm going to pass it on to the Dayton Electric Light District to see if they want to talk to them about the lights, street lights. But,
Thank you, Celeste.
so that's what that meeting was all about. As usual, it was informative, it was good, it was well attended. So, that was good. And then we both, I don't know, did you make it to Bristol Plymouth?
For the open house, I didn't.
No, Jack and I actually attended Bristol Plymouth.
That's an absolutely fabulous school. I mean, the opportunities that it provides kids, not only academically, but trade-wise, is really phenomenal.
Was it well attended?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I got there at noon because I was planning to leave early. And I happened to bump into Jack and his wife in the bake shop.
It's the best place.
Going to the bake shop. I came home with a chocolate cream pie. So anyhow, one of the places I visited was the department where they printed our town book. And I was also in CAD/CAM, computer assisted design. Anyhow, gentlemen, they gave me that. I said, oh, so I brought that back and I said, I'm going to ask my colleagues, how do you get the thing out of the middle?
I'll figure it out.
I got a
Not
pair of
during this meeting.
I got a pair of wire cutters, I'll get out.
No, that's what I said.
Take a look at
The
it.
thing about this is, when it goes into the machine, this is a solid
Solid piece,
cube
yeah.
of aluminum.
Wow.
It cuts the top first, and it cuts it in layers, and it cuts the top of the jack that's in the middle.
Yeah.
Then it turns over. The whole thing is cut in one piece. That is in the middle of it when they're all done. And I was watching the machine. So when you say about what they're doing,
It's fascinating, really
Unbelievable.
fascinating.
Thank you.
But anyhow,
The other thing, the bakery was a real hit, a lot of people in there.
Was this Fratelli's, the new one?
For what?
Fratelli's Bakery?
no,
There's
no,
a-
no, this is the
This is in the,
culinary arts program.
culinary arts.
Oh, okay.
No, in the bakery, and the stuff is delicious, the students all do it, and they also are open for lunch Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And the prices are like really cheap, and the food is really good, so
Oh,
I think,
and one of the maintenance people told me, no, you don't go in the front door, come in the back door. I said, okay, that's fine. Somebody had told me I had to go in the front door. So I haven't been there, but the bakery is right next to the restaurant. It's called the Silver Plate. But, yeah, so Jack and I hit this important part at the same time.
so now they told you to come in the back door instead of the front door. What does that say?
Well, all I
So you
can think
wanna
of
have
is
to
if you
sign
go in the front door, you have to go through the security thing and take your picture and all that.
Amen.
If you go in the back door, I guess you're allowed to go in and eat and leave.
Whatever. Okay, why don't we do, we kind of skipped over the announcements, so let's do those real quickly.
read the first couple. Trash bags, sharps disposal containers, and recycling stickers are all for sale at the Board of Selectmen's office. Please call 508-669-6431 for more information. There are vacancies on the Land Use Committee, Capital Outlay Committee, Zoning Board of Appeals, Cultural Council, and the School Building Study Committee. Nancy, Selectman Goulart, excuse me, you can take over because I know the Sojourn Bears is.
The Sojourn Bears program is looking for volunteers to stuff and sew bears. They meet on the fourth Monday of the month from 10:30 a.m. to 12 noon at Lincoln Village. There will be a flu clinic on October 26, 2017, hosted by the Dayton Council on Aging in the lower level of Town Hall from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Please bring your insurance cards. You must be 18 or older. If you have any questions, please contact Rite Aid at 508-676-3370.
Want to do the next three? Because they kind of relate to me.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
The 13th Annual Dayton Lions Art Festival will be held on November 5th at Arugio Farms from 10 to 4. There'll be arts, crafts, music, food, activities. There's a shuttle service that will run from Manheim Auto Auction down to Arugio's. It's a little bit inconvenient. Some people think it's a little inconvenient, but there's no parking that'll accommodate the hundreds and hundreds of people we get. This is the 13th year this has happened. This is the biggest, the most vendors we've ever had. We have 88 vendors. It's been filled for a couple of weeks, and every day I get another request, so maybe next year it'll be bigger. But, so it's a great event. Kids, adults, anybody. Okay, there'll be a free Veterans Breakfast on November 11th at 9 a.m. It'll be held at Father's House Family Church at 207 Main Street, Dayton, Mass. If you need a ride or to RSVP, please call the Veterans Agent Don Hershey at 508-669-4524. And then there will be a dedication ceremony for Frank G. Costa Memorial Park held on November 11th, St. Veterans Day, at 11:30 a.m. At the park. Light refreshments will follow. So you can go to the Veterans Breakfast, and then right after that, we'll just go down to the park and make that dedication. What we got?
Acknowledgements.
You got anything else?
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, we do have.
Sure. We, I shouldn't say we, the Board of Health Office Manager received a very nice email, complimentary, from Mr. Matthew Gallant. It is dated October 12th. It says, "Hello. I'm writing with a quick note that I'm hoping the town can pass along to the trucking company that handles trash and recycling pickups. That would be Borges Trucking. My wife and I live on Tony's Way. Our now 18-month-old son has always looked forward to watching the garbage and recycling pickups every week. His grandparents babysitting him during the day would always let him look out the window and wave to the workers, or wave to the workers if they were outside at that particular time. The workers who pick up our trash and recycling should be commended. They always take the time to look at our house windows to see if he is there watching, make sure to wave to him, beep the truck horn, etc. It's so nice to see people who take just a small moment to go above and beyond and care to make someone's day, especially a little kid. I just wanted to write a quick note to recognize them for going out of their way from the duties of their job to make my son's day every week. Thank you. Hopefully you can pass this message and note along to the company that handles our town's trash and recycling pickup. Thank you, Matthew Gallant, 28 Tony's Way."
And if we haven't, we will pass that along.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's got to make you feel good. You know? That's great.
Well, Borges Trucking.
That's what did I say?
Us.
Oh, us.
It does make us feel good.
No, it is, it's true.
It
Yeah,
makes us feel.
absolutely.
I mean, that we've got a company that is that,
Yeah,
I'll call it community involved,
absolutely.
you know?
We appreciate it. We appreciate them going above and beyond. We appreciate them being on top of their everyday duties as well. We know they're doing 5 days a week now, every week. So we appreciate it, and we appreciate you as well, Mr. Gallant. So thank you.
I think it's an example of how little things that people can do during their day that don't take a lot of effort, but they make someone feel better, so.
But I also think that the fact that people notice these things, then, once you notice, you might be more likely to continue to go above and beyond, so that's great.
It'd be nice if we had more letters like that to share with people at every selectman meeting, so at least we'll feel better.
Send us your acts of kindness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Random acts of kindness, yeah. Okay, this is from, to the Dayton Board of Selectmen from Sheila New, Assistant Program Manager at the Dayton Council of Aging. And it says, "We're pleased to inform you that Primetime received a donation in the amount of $30. As usual, all donations are turned over to the town accountant and deposited in the Primetime gift and donation account." You want to do these one at a time or together?
Let's do the first two together, because they're both prime
And we
time.
also have another one from Sheila. We're pleased to inform you that Primetime received a generous donation of $211.93. And as usual, the donations are turned over to the town accountant and deposited in the Primetime gift and donation account. So we appreciate those donations. Every little penny helps.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the donation, the anonymous donations in the amount of $30 and $211.93 respectively to Primetime.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Good. We got one more.
Thank you.
This is from Jocelyn Tavares, who's the director of the library, and she just wanted us to know that the library children's room specifically received a donation in an amount of $100 in memory of the Dayton's child's grandfather. So,
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion that we accept the donation in the amount of $100 to the Dayton Public Library, specifically the children's room.
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
That's great. Okay, approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the minutes of the regular meeting of August 23rd, 2017 be approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval of the warrants.
Mr. Chairman, I move that warrant 16A-18 in the amount of $86,452.68 payroll. Warrant 16B-17 in the amount of $135,398.30. And warrant 16C-18 in the amount of $4,401.70, the last two being accounts payable dated October 18th, be approved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay.
Do we want to adjourn or we want to sit here and tell stories?
Just
I think we should.
a quick question. Karen, do we know when the warrants will be mailed? So the people will know they're coming?
Tomorrow.
Okay, so they'll be looking for the town meeting warrants because they're supposed to be mailed tomorrow.
And just for our anxious residents who may be watching tonight, the warrant has been posted in its entirety on the town website. Thank you very much to our administrative assistant for being on top of that. And we also did send a blast email with the link to the warrant via email, so we're getting the message out on the warrant.
And when you get it, there's a large number of articles on this warrant, 50-something. And
55.
I just want you to know that a lot of them were there because in the last 6 months, we've settled 3 union contracts, a couple of grievances, so those all take action. So look at it closely, and we can answer any questions at the town meeting.
And the majority of money articles are transfers from free cash. And please look it over and please bring it with you to town meeting.
And ask questions if you don't understand the article.
Absolutely. Okay. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Cable.